Hello, welcome to another episode of Inspiring Youth. I'm your host, Bruce Outridge, and we've come to the end of another season. I can't believe this is episode number 13 already for season 6. But we've had a great time. Hopefully you've had a great time checking out the trucking industry, which we tried to show you. So I thought in this one, just in case you missed some episodes or you weren't sure, I'd give you a quick little recap of what happened in season 13, because it's been an exciting season. In fact, one of the managers of the station called in the other day and sent me an email and said, Bruce, the smoke in the jet truck was great. So, hopefully that's what we're doing. We're opening up your eyes to what the trucking industry is and what it has to offer. In episode 1, we gave you an introduction to the industry and what we were planning on talking about. We've hoped we've mixed it up with a little bit of career information for those of you who might be thinking of getting a job and wanting to get into the industry. We've offered some safety tips throughout the seasons through the episodes as to which ones are best for you, and how to keep yourself safe in the winter driving or fog and those kind of things. We've added those to a few episodes. We've talked about some serious things like human trafficking, which is something that we all need to be aware of. And of course, we shared some fun along the way of some of the truck shows and stuff that we've been to. So let's show you a little bit of what happened. Here's a little bit in season 2 here, episode 2. I don't know why I keep saying seasons. Episode 2 here. We talked with some drivers about what it's like to become a truck driver in the industry. We talked with a young person named Austin who's got a great job with Home Hardware and is only 21 years old and absolutely loving it. And we also talked about following too close. That was our safety message for this show. Following too close and making sure that you leave enough room between you and the other person on the road. Here's a little bit. In episode 3, we talked with some young leaders. Now, there's a lot of people who get into the transportation industry and don't plan on driving. They don't want to become truck drivers. But there's so many opportunities and jobs in the transportation industry that if you're not seriously, if you want to get in but you don't want to drive, there's still a place for you, men and women combined. And I gotta say that our industry, the transportation industry, is one of the largest industries in North America and probably the world. And there's lots of places for everybody. And those were some great interviews. And of course, we talked about security in episode 3 as well, as far as the safety message. Episode 4 expanded on that. We talked to people who are in payroll. That's right. There's all kinds of functions that go on behind the scenes in operations that is if you don't get your paycheck, you don't have very many employees. So there's we talked to people in payroll and about how that worked. We also talked about driving in foggy conditions and why that's important to note. Episode 5 brought on a strong message, and we talked to a number of people who are veterans and also in the trucking industry. And of course, when we brought this one on, it was the mid-November, and of course, that's Remembrance Day for a lot of us, and a good time to talk about how we got the freedom for our country. And so episode 5 was a very touching one. A lot of great people involved in there, and the trucking community, of course, steps up as well, and it made sure that you remember the freedom. Trucking is one of the most freest jobs you can have, and if it wasn't for our veterans, we wouldn't be driving trucks anywhere. Of course, November was a great time to learn about driving on black ice, and that was our safety tip as well, which you probably heard. So now we moved into the next thing, and I wanted to showcase some of the great things the transportation industry does for most of our community and many other people, such as special needs athletes in the Special Olympics. Every year we've been involved with that, with them for a number of years now. But truck drivers, we have what they call convoys, and truck drivers step up for special needs and raise money for these special needs athletes. And I got to tell you, they are one of the most successful groups doing that. And what's better than having 100 trucks go down the road too with your favorite athlete beside you? Now we talked about winter driving in that last episode as well, and we continue that into episode number 7, where we showcased a lot of the other community partners that we work with, and usually truck drivers love their trucks, so everything becomes a convoy. So Special Olympics was episode 6, but episode 7 showed you some of the other ones we do too. And there's a lot from cancer research to special needs to celebrating memorials for other drivers. It's all important, and it's all done through the trucking community. And of course, our safety tip this time was how to stay alert behind the wheel, because that is something very important for everybody. In episode 8, there's a lot of young entrepreneurs that are getting into the trucking industry. They're not driving. They're introducing the technology that is making our operations simpler. There's so much stuff that goes on, especially if you're an owner of a business in the transportation industry, that you have to take care of. And you cannot miss it, because a lot of it is tied to how you work and how you can drive and the money you make. And so a lot of entrepreneurs are introducing technology to make it more seamless for that person who's busy driving down the road and still getting actions done. And we talked to a few of them here in this episode about the technology and how it's helping the trucking industry. And our safety tip for this one was how to stop being distracted while you're driving. And please, please do not be distracted driving. It kills us all. Here's some of the excerpt from that episode. Episode 9 brought us to people who work in the warranty. We talked to a couple of young people who are into, and warranty is not something you would think a lot of young people would be into selling, but there's a great opportunity for here if you're someone who likes people and is a go-getter. And we talked to the people over at Canadian Truck Warranty about how they were doing it, why they were doing it, and how they were doing it successfully. And now the trucking industry has gotten extremely serious about human trafficking because truck drivers often travel and stay where human traffickers try to take people. When human traffickers are taking people away, they usually stay away from places like train stations and airplanes, because they can be spotted more easily, and they use more things like cars and truck stops and buses. And this is why a lot of transportation people are involved. A lot of people are trying to get us involved to know the signs. All you have to do is make a call and you could save a life, and many truckers have done that. And so we talk about human trafficking in episode 10. There's a couple groups here. One called No Human Trafficking is the Canadian side, and on the U.S. side, it's Truckers Against Trafficking. And those two groups work very closely with the transportation industry to educate us on what we should be looking for. And I was on a Caribbean vacation when I did this episode, so I related some things from the beach. In episode 11, truck drivers joined us again, and we talked with them about their experiences in the industry and why you might want to get into the industry. There's nothing wrong with truck driving. It is a noble profession. It's a lot of hard work, but there's a potential to grow into your own business, and you will never be out of work if you have a good name. I love the trucking industry my whole life. I've been in it my whole life, and I really enjoy it. And so we talked to some truck drivers about what they thought. We had some fun in episode 12. I got to tell you, one of my favorite things to do is to go to truck shows. In fact, you'll find me probably most weekends in the summertime at a truck show. And we had a ton of fun, and I wanted to let you know how much fun you can have, because this is a great place to take your family. You can educate your family on the trucking industry. You can meet some great people, which are all there, and you can see some beautiful machines. And you might even see stuff like the fastest truck in the world. That's right, it's called the jet truck. And we shared that with you in episode 12. And that brings us to episode 13, my friends. And I got to say that it's been a blast. We've really enjoyed season 6. Of course, it was a lot of fun. We're going to get back to some regular inspiring youth type programming. We just thought I'm very passionate about the trucking industry, and I really want to show you what I've seen. Because a lot of people don't see it until you get into it. They don't see the good work that the industry does. They don't see how well the industry is connected with the community. And I wanted to show that for you, because I've had a great career. I've made great money, and I'm still in it doing other things, even not driving. So there's something for everybody. If you're a young person wondering what to do, it might be for you, whether it's a mechanical side or driving or getting into some other area of operations in the industry. It may be for you. If you're somebody who's not sure about the trucking industry and didn't realize how all the toilet paper and paper towel got on the shelves, guess what? Hopefully we showed you some of the great people in that industry through this series. And if you're just looking for some family fun, may I say, come by and say hello to us at a truck show. Hope you've enjoyed this series. If you're a young person that's doing something great in the Halton community, let us know. We would love to come and showcase you for season 7. That's right. We're going to keep doing this for you and get back to some of our regular showcasing of youth in the community. And if that's you, we'd love to hear from you. You can send an email to Bruce at outridgeenterprises.ca. So Bruce at outridgeenterprises.ca. It'll come to me, and we'll reach out and we'll see if that's a fit. Or you can reach out through the phone our friends over at Your TV. I hope you've enjoyed the series. I've enjoyed bringing it to you, and I wish you well, and I look forward to seeing you again on Your TV. Be good, everybody.